In 2006, Camp Snoopy theme park at Mall of America in Bloomington, Minnesota had lost its Peanuts licensing rights when Mall of America was dumped by its partner Cedar Fair. Fast forward to March 15th, 2008, and the park had its grand reopening as Nickelodeon Universe with their new partner Viacom. SpongeBob SquarePants Rock Bottom Plunge, a Euro-Fighter roller coaster by German manufacturer Gerstlauer, debuted with a newly made-over park. The name Rock Bottom Plunge is in reference to the SpongeBob SquarePants episode titled Rock Bottom, episode 17B of season 1. Rock Bottom is my personal favorite episode of SpongeBob SquarePants. The opening setting is outside of Glove World theme park, as SpongeBob and Patrick are just leaving to catch a bus. Cartoon theme parks are always a big plus, especially cartoon theme parks themed to something silly, like gloves. This bit with SpongeBob's massive glove balloon repeatedly slapping the bus driver still does it for me. I love all of the stupid glove-themed merchandise that SpongeBob and Patrick bought at Glove World, not limited to the gloves that Patrick bought for his glove action figure. Accidentally taking the wrong bus, SpongeBob and his friend Patrick are taken to the strange city of Rock Bottom. Rock Bottom is dark, creepy, mysterious, strange. Everybody talks funny, and it leads a lot to the imagination. Some of the episode's highlights for me are Patrick instantly catching a bus back as soon as he and SpongeBob split up to find a way home, SpongeBob missing an absurd amount of buses to the point where he builds a decoy of himself to trick the buses after this happens when he tries to use a vending machine, glove-flavored candy from Glove World, the Rock Bottom accent,
I can't understand your accent,
and the closing joke with Patrick on a bus headed back to Rock Bottom to rescue SpongeBob, just as SpongeBob arrives back home at Bikini Bottom. This episode is really well written, but I also appreciate the creativity, the weirdness of Rock Bottom, and having a window into other parts of SpongeBob's underwater world outside of Bikini Bottom. This episode also does a great job portraying the creepiness of the mysterious, strange depths of the oceans. We will discuss just how much of this episode is reflected in the roller coaster, SpongeBob SquarePants Rock Bottom Plunge. Starting off, Rock Bottom Plunge has an excellent entrance sign. This is a very large sign of SpongeBob and Patrick in the bus as it dives down the hill into Rock Bottom. SpongeBob's comically large glove balloon provides as a backdrop for the coaster's name. The sign is sandwiched between Rock Bottom themed standees with familiar lettering on them. One of the standees depicts the Rock Bottom bus station. The other standee, which is to the right of a sign, depicts the restroom scene in the episode. Ooh, I like this one. Entering the queue from under the sign, you are welcomed by a small area of mostly queue switchbacks. There are little glimpses of theming, like the coral painted on the coaster supports around you, as well as the bus stop sign by the station steps. The station itself is not much more than an open station with storage bins, but there is a wall behind the station which is painted with the same floral design seen in many of the painted backgrounds in the cartoon series. The fire design on the trains are a reference to the trains seen on Fiery Fist of Pain, which is the large roller coaster at Glove World. The Fiery Fist of Pain made its first appearance in the Rock Bottom episode. Leaving the station, there's a slight turn into a block section that halts the train as the chain lift motor starts up. This is probably done as a measure to prevent constant chain lift noise ringing throughout the mall. This block section provides an extra layer of anticipation. I love the anticipation of a good chain lift.
Especially one that's going up at a 90-degree angle.
Ascending the vertical lift hill, the mall's ceiling approaches closer and closer. The lift speed slows to a crawl at the top of the hill. The lift brings riders up to a height of 74.5 feet and sharply drops them at a beyond vertical angle of 97 degrees. I was slightly surprised by the subtle twist as the train pulls out of this drop. I never paid much attention to it before riding, and it throws you to the side a little bit. The airtime on this drop is very fun. If you've ever been on a short beyond vertical drop before, you know the feeling of being momentarily thrown outwards from the train. After the drop,
What's that? It's called the loop-de-loop.
A vertical loop follows the first drop, having a slightly more circular shape to it. It's not circular. The top of the vertical loop is elongated, which allows for a moment of hang time. A very brief speed hill traverses over the exit path and leads into an overbank turnaround. The second inversion is just around the corner, ascending into a slow heartline roll. This heartline roll slows way down. It's a cool feeling accompanied by excellent hang time. After a series of mid-course breaks, the train slowly dives into a bit of an awkward turnaround. An upwards 360 helix takes riders into the final breaks before rolling right back into the station. This concludes the experience of SpongeBob SquarePants Rock Bottom Plunge. Rock Bottom Plunge is a very short and compact coaster. It won't win over everyone. Personally, I see Rock Bottom Plunge's feature element to be the vertical lift with its close proximity to the ceiling's support beams. As mentioned earlier, I like the slight left twist exiting the first drop as well. I compared this drop to other beyond vertical drops in my experience. However, it lacks the sharp angle of Steel Hog at Indiana Beach, and it also lacks the lift hill speed and whip of Maverick at Cedar Point. But that's not to take too much away from this drop. The 0G roll is also a star element, almost tied with the drop for me. I had no idea this coaster had such a strong hang time moment. Rock Bottom Plunge was running a bit faster in the evening, lessening the hang time on the vertical loop, but increasing the positive forces. I still think that everything after the mid-course is fun, although yes, it usually does cut the speed a lot. And Rock Bottom Plunge is also slightly rough. A few of those things might bother some riders. But get those nitpicks out of here! Because I'm gonna tell you all the reasons why I quite enjoyed this coaster. The compact elements on Rock Bottom Plunge make it feel faster than its listed 43.5 miles per hour. In person, it's hard to ignore both how fast it looks and how quiet it sounds. The layout is very similar to other Euro-Fighters, but is actually a custom layout to fit its plot and navigate around those large pillar supports in the mall. I'm more impressed with the theming for this coaster than I expected, as I really didn't expect much thought to be put into it. A lot of the rides at Nickelodeon Universe were just ride with Nickelodeon property slapped onto it. Rock Bottom Plunge did not feel like that. Rock Bottom is a great episode to tie in with the vertical lift and the steep drop. Adding fire to the trains in reference to Glove World's coaster, Fiery Fist of Pain, was also really clever, and something I actually hadn't always caught on to. The back of the entrance sign is painted with jellyfish. The wall behind this coaster is covered with ocean blue banners featuring more of the show's signature flower symbols and more jellyfish. And there's coral painted on the supports. Coral painted on supports! Bus stop sign in the queue. Rock bottom restroom and bus station. Entrance sign with the bus and Glove World balloon. We've been through all of this. I really appreciate that actual thought was put into the coaster's theme, even if it's not a lot of theming. How would I take the theming to the top level? I would of course add a dark enclosed section with black lights and glowy neon rock bottom standees. Of course I would do that. But I'll happily take what we got. The track color is a beautiful, say it with me enthusiasts, seafoam green. Or a shade close to it. This complements the blue supports extremely well, creating one of my favorite coaster paint palettes. One last thing I liked about Rock Bottom Plunge, it's a little high on the thrill scale for a coaster themed to SpongeBob. Since Nickelodeon Universe is mostly a family park, Rock Bottom Plunge consistently had the shortest line of all the coasters. With both trains running, it's an easy wait, even on a fairly busy day. Overall, I rate SpongeBob SquarePants Rock Bottom Plunge a good and a fun. It's a fun coaster with 3 strong elements and a theme that I have a personal attachment to. On May 1st of 1999, I was watching the Nickelodeon 1999 Kids' Choice Awards. After the sliming of a Macho Man Randy Savage, Rosie O'Donnell closed the show. This moment led us into the pilot episode premiere of the legendary cartoon series SpongeBob SquarePants. As the show grew on me more and more throughout the first season, no episode captivated me quite as much as Rock Bottom did. And now I've written a roller coaster theme to that episode. That's cool. And now for today's SpongeBob SquarePants trivia for the comments section. Under the sea, there is someone who takes residence inside of a pineapple. Who the f*** is that? This is 0 credits remaining, reminding you all to avoid going on the Hooks ride at the carnival. See you later.